Thanks for staying tuned. Good afternoon and welcome to the continuing coverage of the Osun State governorship elections that's taking place today, all through the state of Osun, as it is popularly known now. My name is Ladi Akeredoluwale, and we have been on this since yesterday, and we're continuing now with our coverage of the elections. Quite a lot has happened in the last hour since Neuta and Alero concluded the segment before this one. But first, let me introduce my guests. Joining me in the studio is Mr. Ogunye, who's a regular face here. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
And of course, we have Dr. Erinosho here with us. Thank you very much. Dr. Erinosho is a newer face on the program, and he is the co-founder of the Town Talk Political Technology Limited. Thank you so much for being with us. Let me, before we go on into the details of what we have for our guests, let me ask first, your impressions so far about these elections?
Well, the general impression I have so far is that comparatively, the election is violence-free for now. I hope it's not too early to make that assessment. I don't expect the worst. I hope that the kind of peace that we've recorded thus far will continue. It's also salutary that unlike in the other previous election, under this dispensation, where we've had brazen vote buying without the security agencies intervening to effect some arrests. Some arrests have been made, and that is an indication that perhaps we are seeing a new direction in the management of election, and in particular, the enforcement of our electoral laws when it has to do with actual voting. So I hope that the momentum will be sustained, and at the end of the day, the people of Osun State can then say that they've had a free and fair election, and that the best candidate has won this election.
Now, Dr. Erinosho, 48 political parties are participating in this. People might be forgiven for assuming from the way it has unfolded that there are just 4 or 5 parties participating, but in all there are 48 contestants for this. That already gave some people the impression that that in itself was a problem. But so far it has improved. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, because when you look at the landscape, you look at Osun State, the topography, and how the local governments are split up, and you look at also how looking at INEC's preparedness and how voting material has reached the local governments, and also considering just general logistics. I think I'm not surprised, and I'll tell you why I'm not surprised a bit later.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. At this point, we've been following up, and we've got a number of updates. Mr. Ogunye mentioned the issue of vote buying and the fact that a number of arrests have been made. That information was given, of course, by the supervising INEC commissioner for this election, Mr. Solomon Shoibi, who spoke to our very own Sheun Okibaloye in Oshogbo. So we'll take that first, and then after that, we'll also talk to Mr. Kelechi Madu. The issue of security came up. He is the Deputy Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. We'll take those 2 inserts, and then we'll come back to the studios for more of our discussions.
There seems to be some level of organization we're seeing in INEC's conduct of this election. You see the queue, there is actually a line. This is one of perhaps the most organized voting centers in Oshogbo that we're showing. So you see the voters behind the line, one after the other. They are set with their permanent voter cards, and the queue is here, is 3 polling points here. That's one queue. In this polling center, there's 3 polling points. So this is another queue which represents another polling point. So one after the other they're coming, and this is another queue here representing another polling point. If we take a look at what you see that is happening on the sideline, you can see that some of the voters checking for their names on the voter register. That is a first process. So when you arrive here, you go check the voting register. When you get your name on the voting register, then you can come here to check for real whether you are able to vote. So let's give you a sense of what we have been talking about since morning. This is a voter. It's cast the ballot. I will show you in a moment how this process is going and how this is happening altogether. Nelta Alero. Let's get a sense now. So when you come and you find out that your name is on the voter register, you will come here and check, get accredited. And this is a card reader machine. So you must have this. This is a permanent voter card for this voter. And so when that is, so it's just said something now. It's prompted and it said it's confirmed. So that is a prompt. And so when that is done, it goes over there to the other ad hoc official, gets the ballot paper, and when that is done, they come to this cubicle. But let me show you what has been interesting and some of the major issues that trade this election, and it's the issue of vote buying. So INEC will say, usually you find people voting in this area, but that is not happening. The reason is that INEC is saying you cannot vote when people can see you, when people can have a sense of who you are voting for. So the other people that are not voting are on the other side. And so if you are going to vote in this election, you come to this other side where the process is going to be shielded. You cast your ballot and you will come right here and drop it. Then you are free to go, or you want to stay to know what the outcome of the exercise is.